This is the Camp Chef XT24 Pellet Grill. Key features that stand out right away are the PID digital control, the adjustable smoke control dial, the patented Ash Cleanout, and a cooking area that's big enough for a family cookout, but not a backyard takeover. In my opinion, it's aimed at people who want the ease of pellet smoking with some thoughtful touches, and who are okay pairing it with a high-heat add-on if searing is a priority. For look and feel, the build gives off a solid, no-nonsense vibe. The body is steel with a black finish on my unit, and the grates are porcelain-coated steel. So cleanup is straightforward. The size is very manageable for a backyard grill, about 24.5 inches deep, roughly 50 inches wide, and right around the high 40s in height. It's heavy enough to feel stable, listed at about 110 pounds, but the two wheels help. I noticed the cart doesn't include bottom storage, and the front shelf is an add-on, so it keeps things simple. The controller is a single dial with a bright, easy-to-read screen, and there's a tidy cord wrap on the back that keeps things from dangling. Fit and finish are decent at first glance, though I'll share more about the coating in a minute because that's been a real point of learning for me. From my experience, assembly was refreshingly painless. The captive nuts in the legs are a small design win that means fewer dropped fasteners and less frustration. The initial burn-in went fine, but right after that first cook, I ran into the Ash Cleanout lever being stuck. If you're new, here's what that is. The grill has a lever that dumps ash from the fire pot into a small cup underneath, so you don't have to drag out a shop vac every time. On mine, the lever jammed, likely from oils and residue baking into the mechanism during the first hot run. I had to gently tap the cleanout plate from below to free it. Then it worked as intended. Since then, I dump the ash cup after each cook, and it's been a big time saver. Temperature control took a little learning. The PID controller is designed to keep the heat steady, and the smoke control lets you choose a smoke number from 1 to 10. Quick translation if you're new. The PID is the brain that constantly adjusts pellet feed and fan speed to stay near your target temp. The smoke number changes how the grill cycles pellets and air to make more and less smoke. Higher smoke number means more smoke, but looser temperature swings. Lower smoke number means tighter temperatures and a cleaner burn, which naturally creates less visible smoke. Once I understood that trade-off, I started getting more predictable results. I did hit one frustrating issue during an overnight low and slow session at 205 degrees Fahrenheit. The grill overshot, then cooled, then the fire in the pod went out. That's a flameout, and I woke up to unburned pellets and a cold grill. It's not a fun surprise with a brisket on. After that, I ran a couple of daytime test cooks at 225 degrees Fahrenheit with smoke number 2 or 3, made sure the burn pot was completely clean before starting, and changed pellets to a brand I know burns evenly. I also called support and got a replacement controller, which improved the low temp stability for me. Since then, I'll do a shorter cook to confirm stable behavior before trusting an all-night run. If you're brand new to pellet grills, that's my honest tip. Learn how your unit behaves at your go-to temps before you leave it alone for 12 hours. On capacity, the XT24 has about 570 square inches of cooking space total, roughly 429 on the main rack and another 141 on the upper. That's enough for a couple of pork butts, a brisket with ribs, or something like 30 burgers if you pack them in. The hopper holds about 18 pounds of pellets, which gives me an easy day of smoking at 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Pellet usage goes up at baking and roasting temps, but I'm not refilling every hour either way. Searing is the weak spot on purpose. The XT tops out around 500 degrees Fahrenheit and doesn't have a direct flame slide and grill feature. I tried to get steakhouse sear marks by preheating hard and using cast iron, and it was fine for reverse sear in a pinch, but I wasn't blown away. The grill is designed to pair with a Sidekick or sear box, which is a propane attachment that cranks the heat way past what pellets can do. When I added that, searing went from okay to yep, that's the crust I wanted. So I'd recommend thinking of the XT as a smoker/roaster first, and planning a Sidekick if you want real high-heat grilling. On smoke flavor, once I accepted that lower smoke number equals cleaner burn and less smoke, and higher smoke number equals more smoke with more swings, I started using smoke number 5 to 7 for ribs and pork, and 2 to 3 when I just want steady heat for chicken or baking. In my opinion, learning that dial is the difference between not smoky enough, and that's exactly the profile I like. About durability, I need to be straight. The finish on my lid started to bubble and flake after a few cooks, which led to small rust spots. Warranty language typically excludes paint and finish, so I sanded the area lightly and used high-heat paint to touch it up. Then I got a decent cover and keep the grill dry. It's not a deal breaker for me, but I wish the coating held up better out of the box. I've also seen mix-ups in the meat probe count across listings. Mine came with one stainless temp probe. Some listings mention two. It's worth double-checking what's included where you buy. Grease management is simple and works if you stay on top of it. Angled drip tray inside and a bucket outside. On long fatty cooks like pork shoulder, I set a disposable pan on the tray under the meat to catch drippings. It reduces flare-ups and makes cleanup faster. Do a quick scrape of the drip tray and empty the bucket regularly, and you'll stay out of trouble. The things I like center on ease of use when it's dialed in. The Ash Cleanout saves time every single cook. The controller is easy to read and simple to set. The 570 square inches of space is a sweet spot for me. Big enough for parties, not so huge that I'm wasting pellets to heat air. Smoke control gives me a real choice between maximum smoke and tighter temperature control. And once that clicked, my results improved. The XT is also modular in a smart way. I can smoke at 225 degrees Fahrenheit, then move over to the Sidekick for a proper sear without swapping equipment. And if remote monitoring matters to you, you can upgrade to a Wi-Fi Gen 2 controller later. From my experience, that upgrade plus a reliable pellet brand made the day-to-day routine pretty smooth. It's perfect for someone who wants straightforward smoking, likes the idea of a clean burn with adjustable smoke, and doesn't mind adding the Sidekick to cover the high heat gap. If you're completely new to pellets, don't worry about the jargon. PID just means steady heat, and smoke number is a simple dial that trains stability for flavor intensity. Keep the burn pot clean, learn how your unit behaves at your go-to temps, and you'll be in good shape. In my opinion, the XT24 is a strong value if you prioritize convenience and flavor control over built-in searing tricks. The paint isn't a highlight, and I did have that early Ash Cleanout jam and one flameout before I figured out the routine and swapped the controller. But once I learned the smoke number sweet spots and set up a good cleaning habit, it became a dependable cooker for ribs, pork shoulder, chicken, and roasted sides. I'd recommend this for backyard cooks who want set it and let it work most of the time, who appreciate simple maintenance, and who are willing to pair it with the Sidekick for steaks and burgers that need that real high-heat finish. In conclusion, the Camp Chef XT24 Pellet Grill nails the basics of smoking with a couple of standout conveniences and a few quirks you should know. If you value Ash Cleanout, clear controls, and adjustable smoke over flashy extras, it's a solid pick. Just plan for touch-ups on the finish, confirm your probe count, and test your low-temp stability before an overnight brisket. Once it's dialed, it's a friendly, capable cooker that earns its spot on the patio. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the Camp Chef XT24 Pellet Grill. Thank you for watching.